Hey guys, it's Sam, and today I have a book haul for you. This book haul is all the books that I've collected since the beginning of the year, so about January, February-ish until now. So it's kind of my spring book haul, but kind of like my spring-winter book haul. It's all the books that I've collected outside of BEA. BEA has a separate book haul, but these are all the books that I've slowly collected over those months. I haven't really been buying books at all. I've been keeping my hauls to a really bare minimum because I have so many books on my shelf that I still want to get to and still want to read, so I'm only getting books that I know I'm reading for like read-alongs or that I just want to get to. You'll see. The first three books are graphic novels because I went on a shopping trip with Kayla of Bookadoodles. I live fairly close to her, so occasionally we'll go book shopping and stuff together, and we both love graphic novels and comics. So I ended up picking three different things. The first one is Spider-Gwen Most Wanted. This is an alternate universe, I think, in which Gwen Stacy gets bitten by the radioactive spider and she becomes a superhero as well. I'm not really sure how all the Marvel universes work, so I don't really know. I think it's like the Amazing Spider-Man continuum or whatever. So I wanted to read this. I love the cover of this. I love Gwen Stacy as a character, and she, for a long time, wasn't treated fairly in the comics because things happened to her that I don't agree with. So really looking forward to this one. Then we have Rat Queens Volume 2. This is an Image production, and I really loved Rat Queens Volume 1. I think it was so much fun, especially if you're a fan of roleplay games. It's great. Like, if you love, D&D and stuff, this speaks to that. It just speaks to, nerd culture in general, but it's all ladies, and it's like a lady guild that fights monsters and stuff. It's really funny and amazing. So I'm really looking forward to this second volume to see if I like it as much as I like the first one. And then I picked up Saga Volume 5. This is also from Image. I've been really bad about Saga lately, where I haven't been reading them as they come out. I've forgotten a lot about the story, so I need to actually reread the first 4 volumes before I even read this. But Saga used to be my favorite graphic novel series of all time. It was the first one that I'd ever gotten into, and I loved it. But now I'm just kind of I don't care as much, and I've heard mixed things about the later volume. I don't know. I hate even saying that because this is, like I said, one of my most beloved series for a while there. But right now, The Wicked and the Divine is my favorite all-time. Nothing can live up to it. So Saga is falling by the wayside. But I'm hoping with this volume it can grip me again. I don't know. Hopes and dreams. The next 2 books were actually gifts from a viewer. Her name is Sally, and her daughter Naomi sent me a message right after I put up my video about being in remission. If you guys are not aware of that, I will link it on the screen. But it is one of the sweetest messages. I'm going to tear up. But it was one of the sweetest messages I've ever gotten from anybody, and Sally basically said that she had met me at Nova Teen Book Festival, which I had remembered, and that her and her daughter, who is younger, watch me all the time. They love seeing my wigs and stuff, and they watched my remission video, and her daughter wanted to send me something to make me feel better, which is the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my life. So I was like, that is totally up to you guys. That is very sweet to offer. I do have an Amazon wish list. Here it is, but you don't have to do that at all. But that is very sweet and very kind for a child to want to do. Amazing. So thank you so much to Sally and Naomi. I actually met Sally at BookCon as well this year. She's amazing and wonderful. We talked for a little bit. Her and her son came over, who's the cutest little thing ever. So overall, somebody who I consider a friend as well as a viewer, just amazing person overall. Her and Naomi actually picked out 2 books. One is a book that I'm going to be buddy reading with Sally at some point because we now both own it, and the other one is one that Naomi knew that Sally liked and wanted to send me as well. So very cute, very thoughtful, completely awesome. Both books that I really wanted and that I'm really looking forward to reading. The first one is Stolen Songbird by Daniel Jensen. This is the first book in a trilogy, and it is supposed to be about trolls. I don't really know a ton about it. Becca from Awesome Book Nut has talked about it for years now. The last book just came out, so it's a good series that I could possibly marathon. But this one is supposed to be like trolls, but not the trolls that we think of. I don't know. I've kept myself pretty blind for this, I know that Becca loves it. It's a very different fantasy that doesn't get talked about a ton. I haven't really read anything about trolls. So sounds really interesting, and Sally and I are going to buddy read this hopefully soon whenever we both have time. Schedules during summer is just craziness, but really looking forward to getting to this one finally. It's been on my wish list forever. And the second one is, drumroll please, Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. As you guys may or may not know, I have never read Cassandra Clare's novels. I don't have any interest in the Mortal Instruments at all. It kind of sparks my anxiety a bit, and I've talked about this before. I'll link a video about it on the screen, but this series I really wanted to read, The Infernal Devices. I think it won't be as triggering for me, and it's a Victorian kind of steampunk setting. I mean, you guys know, it's The Infernal Devices, Cassandra Clare, everybody knows. But of all of her series, this one is the one that most interests me and I'm most motivated to read, and it's a trilogy and not 6 or 7 books, and yeah. So I'm hoping I can contain it to this, and if I can't, then I know I can read the rest of the series and stuff, but looking forward to this one. And I do like these new covers. They're really pretty. I like the old ones too, but I do like these, except for I don't like the original series sticker. stickers. Like, I hope I can get rid of that. So thank you so much again to Sally and Naomi. You guys are so, so sweet. The next 2 books I recently picked up from Amazon. The first one has been in basically everybody's book hauls, and that is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 2nd book in the ACOTAR trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. And I'm doing a read-along for this, so I will link the information for that down below. We are doing a read-along for it in June because we read the first book together last year, and we wanted to read this one together as well. This has some Hades and Persephone elements to it. I know that it's not completely Hades and Persephone. You guys don't need to tell me. I know that. Whenever I mention this and that it has Hades and Persephone elements and that that's a reason that I'm reading it, people are like, oh, it's not a complete retelling. I know. I just have to read it because it has a little bit of that, just like a hint of it. So that's why I'm reading it mostly, and I'm hoping that I'll like it more than the first one. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one, but I've heard that if you didn't like the first one, you might like the second one more. I like Rysand. You know, there's things that I could like about this. I'm being cautiously optimistic, very, very cautiously optimistic. But this one is huge, and I'm going to be reading it this month, and we'll see how I feel about it. And this next book I will probably, hopefully, have finished before this video even goes up, because I'm planning on reading this tomorrow. But that is Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. This is an adult romance, and there is a movie that just came out that is about it, and I don't want to get spoiled for this book because I wanted to read this book for a long time, ever since I first heard about it, and people started talking about it and said it was going to be a movie, and I wanted to read it way back then, before that even happened. And then now the movie's coming out. Like tonight, actually, because I'm filming this on a Friday night. So the movie's coming out. I don't want to get spoiled. I don't want to see any gift sets. Like, I know that it's very sad. I know it's very tragic. I know it's like, I pretty much think I know what's going to happen, but I don't know exactly how that all comes about and whatever. So I want to read this as spoiler-free as possible and cry probably because that's what everybody else does. So we will see, but you'll probably have a review for this coming up if you don't have it already, because I'm going to read this like tomorrow. And the last book is a lovely gift from my friend Joanna. I will leave her channel down below. We co-hosted Authorathon together a few months ago, and she sent me this kind of as like a thank you and stuff, and just because we're friends, and she's awesome and lovely and wonderful. And she sent me The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This book I've wanted to read for so long, pretty much since Elizabeth from Books and Pieces said that it was her favorite book pretty much of all time. So I knew I had to pick it up like instantly, and she's still talking about how much she loves it, so like I need to read it ASAP. Like I really do. So this book is the first book, and I think it's going to be a duology. I'm not sure if it's more than a duology. I know that the second book is coming out. I just found that out. So this is about a group of people who is on a spaceship going to a planet, but it's less about the sci-fi elements and more about like the relationships and stuff, but it is an adult sci-fi. But like I said, it's more like character focused, and it sounds amazing. I've had a lot of friends that have read this lately and have said it's really good. So excited to finally pick this up. I need more sci-fi in my life. I'm really trying. I know I keep saying that. I'm trying. And I think this book is going to be a nice bridge into all of that. So that is it for my winter spring book haul. Comment down below. Let me know if you ever read any of these books and what you thought of them. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!